It's good to be able to acknowledge that the way of Jesus is a good way. It's good to be able to admit that his way is the way that you need to be patterning after. But you also need something else. What do we need? What do we need? First of all, we need regular seasons of devotion. We need a regular diet, which is designed to keep us in step with Jesus. We need living and daily bread. I laugh and joke with Sister Frozen Woods all the time about my eating habits. I've been eating traditional breakfast food so long that my day is not right if I don't have my breakfast food. And breakfast ain't breakfast if it doesn't have eggs, bacon, sausage, or ham, toast, biscuits, or grits, and some coffee or tea. I don't want hamburger for breakfast. I don't want spaghetti for breakfast. I want breakfast food for breakfast. Even if it's 12 o'clock noon, my day ain't right if I don't have some breakfast food for breakfast. Well, that's the way it is with Jesus. We need some regular devotion with Jesus. Singing is good, but singing won't do by itself. Preaching is good, but preaching alone won't do. Praying is necessary, but prayer by itself won't do. We need to spend some regular time with the Lord in devotion. There needs to be some time on a regular and steady basis when we spend it just with the Lord. Don't just read the Bible, but let the Bible speak to you. Don't just talk to the Lord, but allow the Lord to talk to you. Listen to him when he speaks to you. And there's a second thing. We need an appetite for the things that he offers. If we have a desire to feast on what he has to offer, he'll do the rest. Did you get that? If you have a desire to feast on what he has to offer, he'll take care of the rest. Every now and then, I get a taste for something special to eat. I can't be satisfied until I get it. I like bread. But light bread for me is just to be tolerated. Light bread is not to be used as a regular meal bread. Sometimes I want some cornbread. Maybe some hot water cornbread. You see, greens don't eat right with any other kind of bread. I won't be satisfied unless I can fix me or somebody can fix me some cornbread. But when I get my cornbread, then I can eat and enjoy my greens. I'm trying to say something, y'all. That's the way it is with Jesus. When we desire communion with him, bad enough to come to him, he will satisfy our needs. But you got to want to come to him. You got to want some of what he has to offer. Whoever wants what Jesus has to offer can have it for the asking. Jesus says, he who comes to me shall not hunger. He said, I'm the bread of life. What did Jesus mean when he said, I'm the bread of life? Let's take a brief look at bread and what it is. Bread sustains life. Life needs bread. What is life then? Life is more than mere physical existence. Life is more than inhaling and exhaling. What is this new life? What is this spiritual life that Jesus is referring to? Real life is the new relationship with God. It's that relationship of trust, obedience, and love that exists between God and believers. That relationship is made possible by Jesus. If you want to experience real life, then you need to get to know Jesus. He's the only way that you can enter into this new life. Without Jesus, there may be existence, but it won't be life. So if Jesus is the essence of life, he can be described as the bread of life, the hunger of the human situation. situation is ended when we know Jesus. The hunger of the human situation ends when we know God through Jesus. The restless soul is at rest. The hungry soul is satisfied just when we know Jesus. I don't know about you, but I'm glad that I know Jesus. I'm glad that I know who he is, but I'm much more glad that he knows who I am. Not only does he know who I am, but he knows where I am. He knows what I need before I need it. He supplies my every need. He fixes me up when I don't even know that I need fixing me up. He lifts me up when I'm down. He'll bring me down if I'm too high. Jesus is my life. Jesus is my rock. Jesus is bread in a hungry land. I used to hear the old folk talk about it. Say he was bread in a hungry land. I didn't understand what they were talking about because my daddy supplied bread for me. But I kept on living. I kept on striving. One day I had my own family. Times got tough. Times got hard. Didn't know where any bread was coming from. But out of nowhere, God sent a blessing. God's filled a need. Now I can say for myself that he is bread. Bread in a hungry land. He is all right. Yeah, yeah. Jesus says, I am the bread of life. And there's a word in there for us, y'all. No matter what happens, and some things are going to happen in our lives before this whole economic thing is over. Don't you ever forget that Jesus is the one, God is the one who can sustain you. You may not have steak and gravy for every meal, but he said, I'll sustain you. He just may fix it up so that you don't have anything to eat, but he'll send you to a neighbor or send a neighbor to you that has a can of pork beans. And y'all can open up the pork beans. You eat half and they eat half. Next time it may be your day to have a can of string beans. It may not have no grease in it. May not have no meat in it. But I used to hear my mama say all the time, when you